There are a lot of unique characters in the game of Identity V, whether it's for the hunters or the survivors. Even then, they can still be categorized into a few roles. For example, the 4 roles of survivors. Hiders, being known for high solo kiting potential. Rescuers, typically able to rescue with high consistency. Supporters, or the assist role, helping teammates to stall for longer, sometimes at the cost of their own decoding time. And lastly, the decoders, which are the ones that have abilities into decoding speeds. Additionally, there are 3 main categories of hunters. Pursuit, which are the hunters that excel in chasing with their abilities being weaker on the other 2 aspects. Defense, also known as the camping hunters. And lastly, the map controllers. These are only the general classes that people have categorized over the years, with more roles considering how they perform in their role, as well as overlapping roles. For example, Patient being the Kiter Rescuer hybrid, and Forward being a Supporter Rescuer hybrid. In this video, we will talk about the Control Kiters archetype, with most being Stunner Kiters and Kiter Support hybrid, and discuss why the Control Kiters tend to be more popular in rank. To start it off, let's understand the characteristics of this archetype, as well as who fits into this role. They are the Kiters with assist secondary roles, as well as having a heart control ability, with Cowboy being the exception. The prime example of this archetype are Prospector and Antiquarian, with the rest being Enchantress, Thief, Cowboy, Weeping Clown, and to an extent the Novelist, Painter, and the Fire Investigator. Characters such as Batter and Forward don't quite fit into this category, since they are classified as just harassers and sometimes rescuers, because of their lower decoding speeds and generally high difficulty and low reward from chasing them. As to why Cowboy and Weeping Clown count is more caused by the designated roles added by NetEase, while only having a tiny bit of decoding decrease compared to the likes of the previous 2. There are a lot of reasons why these characters will be picked. Firstly, they are less polarizing than ordinary harassers. For the ordinary harassers usually have to harass to snowball to save a game. Otherwise, if they don't harass, they suffer from a significant decoding speed decrease, as well as losing effectiveness later on. On the flip side, these Control Kiters, most of them can do everything decently and have little to no debuffs. For example, the Prospector having no debuffs at all, has a higher decoding speed than normal, which means he doesn't have to always harass, but decoding will already be a decent choice, while having a decently high kiting potential. But when he gets the opportunity when it's convenient to harass, or if he wants to or he has to harass, he can still disrupt the hunter's momentum through the use of the stuns and displacement from the magnet. Being an all-rounded character, not just a jack of all trades, but really a master of everything. This isn't the case for just him, but rather mostly everyone in this archetype. Secondly, despite being stunner harassers, they still inherit the advantages of both kiters and supporters, without being too much worse than the specialists for the named roles. They still have high kiting potential, even comparable to kiting specialists like Acrobat, while being good supporters that are comparable to supporter specialists such as Priestess, while ironically being better supporters than Priestess in a lot of solo rank situations. This makes them more popular since they have a higher impact on their own, which means they do not need much coordination from others, but can still do what they wish to do and be impactful no matter the game, and therefore being popular choices, especially in ranked games. Thirdly, continuing from the last point, this archetype has the second most impact just behind ordinary harassers, which means they don't have to be chased to have a significant effect. But even when they are not chased, apart from Enchantress, they are still highly impactful and pose a significant threat on the hunter in every regard, which makes them the perfect choice, especially in solo ranking scenarios. To elaborate, take Acrobat for example for Kiter's specialist. If he doesn't get chased, then they will be powerless to how the game will play out. Take Prisoner as a decoder specialist. Although he could finish all the ciphers, he is highly dependent on others to play the game out, with he himself not having any impact apart from the 1-second stun, which really is irrelevant in most situations. Every rescuer is really just there to save consistently and doesn't contribute to the outcome apart from the tide turner and how well they save, which are to save the game from its overall skill flaw, but really, they don't get much of a say on the outcome. Lastly, same as harassers, they raise the overall skill cap of the team and can outplay the opponents to either fix mistakes or to snowball further. A game without any harasses will make it very solo kiting and tide centric, with solo potential and tide being all they've got, whereas in a game with harasses, even if the first and second kites are bad, and even if they don't have tide, they can still get the time back through harassing and stalling, and at their highest potential, they can stall out longer than tide ever could, giving a helping hand to teammates to snowball further that most other roles cannot achieve. For ordinary harasses, that's all it is, but for control harasses, although their uptime is shorter with longer downtime, for the gain of less polarizing gameplay, better decoding speed, as well as sometimes having other buff or special synergies. For example, Novelist switching the hunter into a pallet with displacement to put the hunter even further from the person getting chased. Prospector that has an insane amount of stun and displacement, and I really don't have to elaborate on Cowboy. When they harass, they sometimes bring even higher threats than the slower decoding speed one. And when they don't harass, they can still decode normally and kite well when the hunter does come. Anyway, these are the reasons why control kiters are popular among most of the player base, especially in rank. If you enjoyed, it would be most appreciated if you could leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, have a wonderful day.